Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Neon Souls. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Friday evening, Saturday morning. I don't know what time it is out there for everyone, but thank you for joining us. We're here to play The Sprawl, playing a little bit of cyberpunk goodness here today, riding that sweet SEO into hopefully some new people join us for the conclusion of our first season here of Neon Souls. Well, this is the second. We'll be finishing up next week. This is our penultimate episode, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. In the meantime, you have just watched our promo video with all the shows that we do right here on GGK throughout the week. We got lots of tabletop games and video games and all sorts of fun stuff for you to watch. More specifically, after this, our next show will be tomorrow, which is a Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. This week is Saturday Night Star Power. We're going to be playing Overarms. I run that game. I had to run it through my head to remember which one I was doing this week. It's a little bit like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure inspired rules light roleplay. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for 4 or 5 weeks now, I think. I lose track. It's wild. But you can come join us for that and see what I'm talking about tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Otherwise, our schedule through the rest of the week is going to be the same. Is the stream randomly? Sorry, I just saw the chat. I'm hoping it's not doing that for anyone else. Hopefully it's coming through okay. We also have a bunch of video game streams that we've been doing this week, specifically myself. I've been running some Pokemon, or playing some Pokemon, doing a Nuzlocke run this week, and we'll continue probably into the weekend. You can join us for that, and other video game streams. I think that's it as far as new stuff. I think our schedule is mostly going to be the same next week. I'm gonna let these folks introduce themselves, talk a little bit about what they do, who they are, and who they're playing tonight. Starting with GB.
Graybeard at Graybeard's Tavern, and tonight I'll be playing Klaxon, the drone jockey driver. You can catch me later on in the weekend with these guys on Sunday, and for some Monster of the Week action, which I play my professional flake over there. But that's it for me, GB.
And I'm Morgan, also known as Imagine Matrix on the internet. And tonight I'm playing Clarity the Hacker. That's all I have to say.
And I am Savvy. I'm at Savvy Seaworth on the interwebs. I'm on this channel pretty much every time it's live. I'll also plug my upcoming week because next week is finale week on twitch.tv/encounter roleplay. So Monday night at 8 p.m. Song of the Deep, and then Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. for Hustle and Claw will be the finale of both of the shows I'm running over there. But tonight I am here playing Choke, the Killer.
And hello, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at a Greek Sid. I'm here a couple nights a week. I'm here right now. Woot! I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be here Sunday. I have a whole weekend of GGK. I'm very excited about it. For tonight, I am playing Impulse, the Pusher.
And I am Sean at the Crack King on Twitter and other places. I am the MC of this game, obviously. Run all sorts of other games on this channel, play in all the other ones that I'm not running. And you can find my whole schedule on my Twitter pinned to the top. I think that's about it. If nobody else has any announcements, let's go ahead and get back into the game. So previously on Neon Souls, your crew was given a task by a anonymous catechism contractor to break in to the IDIS corporate offices to upload a virus into the manufacturing mainframe created by Catechism, so that the IDIS devices would only play or only run Catechism software, and to upload a advertisement or to broadcast an advertisement given to you by Catechism containing some propaganda by the corporation for their own products and services. You decided to not do this job to the letter, manufacturing or modifying the virus so that it would sort of erase itself after a certain amount of time, and also editing the advertisement so that it'd be identifiable that it was Catechism's doing. In completing these jobs, you came up with a rather elaborate scheme to get everyone into the building. Choke and Impulse going in for meetings with Klaxon and Clarity as their secretaries or assistants. You had gotten in for your respective meetings with Karen and what was the other one? Gemma. You had maintained your cover in doing this. Clarity and Klaxon breaking off, hacking into the mainframe of this IDIS corporate office, and you hijacked a bot in order to upload the virus. And it was around this time that you received another job, this time to assassinate an IDIS board member who would be present on site. Mr. Saint Germain, who is a long time, over 200-year-old IDIS board member, Walden Saint Germain. I was trying to remember that first name. Who would be present in the executive offices during your visit to IDIS. You decided to take this on as there was a rather substantial pay bonus that was coming along with it, and Choke and Clarity found their way upstairs to the broadcasting booth with the trying to draw in Mr. Walden by sending them a sort of an anonymous message that they were needed in this broadcasting station. Mr. Germain arrived as you were uploading this broadcast in the skin of one Mari from the hit. What? You just
Maui?
gave the. Is that not what I just said? Maui. Sorry.
You said Mari, which was a different
This is
conversation we had last
that is a different conversation that we had last time. One Maui,
not kill Mari.
from Moana, and you snapped their neck, their beefy neck, as they were sitting there having a interview with Clarity. You made your escape as the alarms were sounded. Clarity using her hacking skills to disable the security systems the best she could. The rest of you maintaining cover, Klaxon creating some chaos in the work environment, Impulse trying to keep Karen under control, and Choke with your invisibility trying to escape the building as well and not be seen. You escaped, making your way back to the workshop. You saw the broadcast, which did not mention the assassination of Mr. Saint Germain, but instead discussed his passing as he visited the executive offices of IDIS due to a untimely heart attack. And you were surprised with the visit by Apollo, the leader of Oracle, someone you'd worked with in the past, who told you that Your getaway was not so clean, and with your current irritation of catechism and IDIS, you were blacklisted and currently the target for corporate assassination. And he told you that he'd be willing to help you, get you out of the city, if you would do him one favor, to assassinate someone named Ghost, who he said was Clarity's twin sister. So that's where we're going to pick up here today. With, I'll change the music, with Apollo still in your little meeting area at the workshop, waiting for a response from the four of you as he drops this information, sort of looking pointedly at Clarity to gauge her reaction.
When you say twin sister, do you mean like in the way that you had a twin brother?
No, not in the same way. Like a twin sister, as in born at the same time, from the same mother.
Are you sure?
Fairly sure. My intel is rarely wrong. I don't know how personal you want me to get around your companions here, but I have evidence.
Well, I would like to see this evidence, and I'm sure it's nothing that I wouldn't mind them seeing, probably.
Right. Clicks on his data pad and sends a file to this. I imagine you guys have some more like table in the center of the room, which probably has like a display on it. And as the screen lights up and displays a couple of images, you see a file open with some documents that begin to pop up out of it, where you see a birth certificate, some other documents, and as these appear, he begins to read off. It says, Aria Claire, born to Helena Claire at Central Hospital. I'll leave the birth date out of it. I might get a bit personal. Given up custody shortly thereafter, put into foster care. Have arrest records here as well. Arrested several times as a teenager. Vandalism, theft, hacking of public systems, arson. Age 14, brings up the arrest records, and a judgment also among them says, age 14, she was sent to Southward Juvenile Detention Center, released at 18, and public record of her stops there, as that would be the beginning of her employ with Shadow, but we'll get to that in a moment. And here you are, and pulls up an image, and you see essentially a mugshot with a face on it that looks very similar. The eyes are not a glowing cyber green, and said they are what was your eye color beforehand, Clarity? Hazel. So you see sort of angry looking, but dark hazel eyes. She has no cybernetics or anything that you can see, as she's very young in this, about 14, but very, very obviously identical to Clarity.
this is a joke, right? Like, this is just, Claire, this is just you, right? Like, this is just like, no judgment if you have a record. Like, you know, you want to know what I did, but you're kidding, right?
I do have a record, but my mugshot looks a little bit different than this one.
I have access to that one too, but I'll keep that.
Yeah, probably best.
Wait, have we been calling you by your last name this whole time?
Maybe. Yes.
That's just so funny.
Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of set it up that way. I thought it would be nice to, you know, have a little bit of familiarity in my anonymity.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Anonymity.
yeah, that one. Yeah, so
I'm assuming this isn't a conversation that you've had with your mother.
no.
I apologize for dropping this on you. But
So, wait, so I find out I have a twin sister, someone with my face, and then I have to kill her?
right. You'll find your sister has taken much of a different track in life than you did. As I said, she found herself at 18 in the employ of a rather dangerous group of people. Shadow would be the official name, though you won't find it in any books. The only reference you'll find of it would be deep, deep hidden within every major corporation's bylaws. A sort of a general oversight commission that oversees, well, executive level assassinations. They're meant to handle any disputes between board members of major corporations. And they have ultimate authority to resolve those disputes with violence. Every corporation has to adhere to their principles and their decorum. And if they don't, well, the penalties are almost as prohibitively expensive, or are more prohibitively expensive than their fees are. So when Catechism hired you to assassinate an IDIS board member, they violated this accord. Now, Catechism will be fined and the guilty parties will be punished for that, but you all, unfortunately, as you have been the instrument through which this took place, have violated these bylaws and are blacklisted and scheduled for termination as a result.
Talk about fine print.
So I need to kill her.
Your sister works with Shadow and has for a long time, since she was 18. She has been trained by them, programmed by them, and will carry out her mission violently and thoroughly. She is tasked with eliminating your group here. If you don't eliminate her, you will never be safe. And I can't guarantee your safety getting off planet.
Cool.
So you're just giving us this information so that, you know, we can take care of this, and this is purely altruistic. You don't have any previous run-ins with her and she pissed you off in some capacity.
I don't see why that would matter.
You're asking the girl to murder her sister? I think all information kind of matters in this situation.
I'm asking for clarity to defend herself from someone who is essentially a stranger to her.
With her face. Like
Yes.
having her face.
Yes.
That's kind of a big deal.
I can understand. I'm sure that you can appreciate how much I can appreciate the difficulty of this situation, as I have been in a similar situation with not too long ago myself.
You didn't have to kill your other self, now did you? We did that for you. It's like history
Right.
repeating itself. What backstory, what history do you have with Ghost? Hey, either we leave the planet or we're dead, so who the fuck cares if we know anyway, right?
Right. Warlock. The me before me. Or after, depending on how you put it. The one who you helped me eliminate that had usurped my authority in my life. They employed Arya, or Ghost, for a time. She botched the job. They burned her. That's how she got arrested. She has did make attempts on Warlock several times, and now that I am back in my life, they have been making attempts against me. Inquiries. They're not too far off, and if they continue to act unimpeded, I'm afraid they will eventually find me and eliminate me as well. So, this is for my own self-preservation as well. As I said, they're an instrument of vengeance for a powerful organization that exists above and beyond the laws of society and the corporations themselves. You'll be doing the world a service by eliminating her.
Got any other truth bombs to drop on this? Like, you're not like my dad, right, or anything like that.
No.
Okay, just double checking, because things sometimes come in threes, and I just found out that I have a twin sister, so.
Do we need to
That
get
one would-
Maury into this? Like,
Yeah.
paternity test?
Apollo being your dad would actually not surprise me that much. Just saying.
Right. Well, regardless, no.
Great.
I don't believe we have any
So-
relation.
We know the problem. We have to solve it. If they've been making attempts on you, then you've got to have some information on them. You gonna hand it over?
I need someone to roll to get the job.
We all look at him.
Impulse, roll dice. As you all stand around a table and Impulse
Impulse, play the game.
Let's play the game.
Give
Let's
it-
go.
Do the job game.
Okay. That's 3 plus 5 is 8 plus 2 is 10.
Okay. Which options are you picking?
The good ones. Okay. Second.
What do you get to pick? 3?
I get to pick. Well, I get to pick 4 with my
Right, 'cause you
awesome
have that.
or professionalism move. So.
So which one aren't you picking off that list? So information, gear, pays well, doesn't attract attention, employer is identifiable.
We kind of know who the employer is already, don't we?
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. All the other 4.
Okay. I will
Intel
flavor the
gear,
5th
Facebook.
one as if they're forthcoming with, if Apollo maybe being forthcoming with some more things. But there is a downside to not picking that 5th one, I will say. I can't tell you exactly what that is, but so.
Hmm. I feel like we've got gear. Or we might have gear. We might get some more gear. I want more. I mean, that's literally why we started down this line of questioning, too. I want to know why the fuck he wants this done so badly. Because it's not just out of the goodness of his heart. So let's pick that one, then. We'll take care of gear.
All right. I'll provide you with the information you need. I'll provide you with everything that I have on the attempts against me, as well as anything else I can. I'll arrange the transport for the end of the week. Gives you 3 days to handle this. Transport will be to the New London Lunar Orbital Station, where I will set you up with a place to hide, cover identities, and will give you enough time to figure out whatever next steps you wish to take. Should you want to return to San Angeles or continue your lives up there? If you decide to stay outside the city, then good luck. If not, that's up to you whether you wish to return. I can't guarantee your safety should you come back, though.
Heard that one before.
You have to understand, every corporation has you on their hit list now. If your head pops up anywhere, crosshairs will shortly follow.
Don't really feel like we have much else of a choice.
Okay. Well, good luck. Let me know if you need anything else.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be giving you a call.
Right. They head towards the door, and as they do, they open it. That same refractive shielding technology that Clarity has also activates against them, and they turn invisible as they step outside the doors.
Man, if we would have gotten one of his hairs, we'd have totally told if he was your dad or not. We'll have to remember that next time.
Yeah, you're right.
I really hope he's not, because that means we can kill him after all of this.
You know, even if he's not my dad, I'd prefer we don't kill him. I kind of think he's cool, so.
He's our boss and also our only means of survival right now.
I mean, he's such a dick. Anyway.
I really feel like at this point you're the only one that doesn't like him.
He's just so...
What?
Smarmy.
Yes. Smarm to the nth degree.
And I'm indifferent. Whatever. I like his place. He never took that gas station back from us, so I'm kind of cool with that.
He's also literally put himself on the line to get us off planet. So he didn't have to tell us any of this. He could have just let us die.
Oh, again, believe me, he's not telling us any of this out of the goodness of his heart. He's playing his, 8th dimensional chess right now.
Does it matter? He's still not letting us die.
For now.
It'd be
Oh no, you go.
it'd be really cool if one of those dimensions was made of Jello. And that's all Klaxon has.
So do we
Yeah.
have issues with this?
Y- yes, I think I need to make a call. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
And
Clarity, you head to your closet.
Yep.
Who you calling?
Set up a secure line, and I'm gonna call Helena Claire.
You set up the line easily. Actually,
This is a contact move.
yeah, I'm gonna have you. Let's see. God, there's a move I want to use for this one. I'm looking at the list and nothing's popped. What do I want to make you roll? I think. No, I think this isn't going to be a contact move. No, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna play it out and see how it goes. So let's. You set up the secure line, and it rings a few times. Eventually picked up, and you hear a familiar and soft voice on the other side. It says, "Hello."
Hey, Mom.
Mia?
Yeah.
It's so good to hear your voice. Where are you?
I can't really say right now. You're still someplace safe, right?
Yeah. I'm at home right now. Yeah, I'm safe. Why?
Okay, just I have a sister, right?
There's a long pause. How do you know about that?
It's kind of a long story that doesn't have anything to do with Lebanese oil barons or anything like that, so.
Right. Technically, yes, you do have a sister. I'm sorry I never told you.
I mean, you kind of had a rough time raising me, so.
It was the hardest decision I ever had to make. When I learned I was having twins, I knew I was only going to be able to keep one of you. I couldn't afford to raise both of you.
How did you choose?
Well, you came first, and unfortunately, I had just made that choice. I had no other way to decide.
Okay, yeah. No, it's understandable, and I don't blame you.
Why are you asking?
You know how I got in some trouble as a teenager?
Yeah, yes, yeah, I'm aware.
she got into some worse trouble.
Oh.
Sorry, you probably don't want to hear that.
No, I do want to hear it. Do you know what happened to her?
Not exactly, but it doesn't sound like she had anyone in her corner like I had you, so.
Mia, do you know where she is? Where Arya is?
Not right now, but I might soon, and
if you find her, will you tell her I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to her, it wasn't her fault. I had always hoped that she might have ended up in a good home. But part of me always knew that wasn't likely to happen. Maybe if you connect with her, maybe we can talk.
Maybe we can talk.
So how are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I have some friends, and maybe I'll bring them around for dinner sometime.
That would be nice. Please come by soon.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. My shift is starting in a little bit. I have to actually go, but will you call me again soon?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love you.
Love you too, Mom.
You hang up?
Yep.
So, what do?
I pull the fire alarm.
Before she does, I want to talk to the other two while she's not here.
All right, well, I'm just gonna start the alarm sound when I feel like we've reached that point.
Jesus. Before you turn the god awful sound on. There she leaves. I need to know where the two of you stand on this.
Just family.
She doesn't know her.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't it?
Well, yeah, especially when family has your face. I don't know, it just feels bad. Like icky.
She's gonna have to make a choice between that family and this family. And we need to be prepared for that. Because as much as I want this to work out like an after-school special, she's a trained killer. And I don't imagine she has even as much moral compass as I do. And that's not much.
Dickface said something about being programmed. She was programmed by the shadow. Well, I don't know a better hacker and programmer than Clarity. So she got some shitty programming. Reprogram her.
If she's got a lot of tech, that's one thing. If she's brainwashed,
Different kind of program.
that's something else. I want us to be ready for the possibility that we are going to have to kill her no matter what Clarity wants to do.
For clarity's sake, if nothing else.
She is like my sister, and a sister that I know and that I love. And I'll kill her blood to protect her. And I need to know where you're going to stand on that. I'm not going to judge you for where it is. But if it comes to that, I need to know what I'm working with.
Just another target to me. I don't know either of them.
I care about her too. And of course, I would do anything. Give her the option. If it comes down to it, and the other person with Claire's face turns out to be something that needs to be taken care of, then we take care of it.
I'm not going to take that choice away from her. But if it comes down to it, I will put a bullet in Ghost.
If it comes down to it, fine.
Okay, so Choke, you're a killer.
Hmm?
We're dealing with something. So take you plus like the drive of impulse and the brains of clarity, and that's what we're dealing with. I mean,
Well, I understand.
Oh, okay, because personally I would rather rocket this whole situation from like a distance, nuke it from orbit, because
Are you saying I need to bang her then? I'm confused.
He's saying take me and take the humanity out. When you're dealing with a programmed killer, it's usually not there.
yeah.
And I'm
So-
afraid Clarity is going to try to go after some humanity that's not there.
And that's why I'm saying I would prefer we find where she is and just launch rockets at the site and take our chances sorting through the rubble, because this is.
And that's why I wanted to see this without her in the room. As much as I would love that, that's not our decision to make. But I wanted us all to be on the same page. So, you let her try?
If it comes down to it. Claire comes first.
I want to be prepared for both.
God damn, we're right here!
After we get done with that, I'll see what I can dig up in for tranquilizers and tasers and whatnot.
What?
Hey, we'll work it out. Yeah, let's go.
You all head to Clarity's closet, and where she has just pulled the alarm. Clarity, everyone comes busting in through your door.
Hi. Oh, right.
Clicks the alarm back off.
So?
So she could have been me. Like, there's pretty much nothing but fate and luck separating my situation from hers. And that kind of sucks. And I'm sure you guys know me and well enough and kind of know what I'm gonna want to do.
You want to try to talk her down?
I mean, I don't know if she can be, but or if there's something else going on that would stop that from being possible, but
Astra did say programmed.
yeah, I was thinking about that too. It's just if I were in her shoes, I at least would want a chance for something different than what was dealt to me. And she probably won't take that chance. But I can't not offer it knowing that it could have been me.
I know it sucks to hear. And we're on board with you. But if it does go bad, we have to be prepared to take care of it. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I can't really say no because it might just come down to her or us, and I probably wouldn't choose her over us.
Well, I'd rather tell you up front and have you be involved.
Yeah. Can we like hug?
Oh, Claire! Waddles over to you, wants to hear. Like, literally, like, she's hugging you and, like, resting her head on your bosom. That's where she's she's that.
Fair.
There's, in a moment that's never happened before, just two very large arms.
It's very nice. You get really good hugs. You should do them more often.
They're really
Your
good.
arms are amazing. A little tighter, like pulls in the arm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, let's not get carried away.
Okay.
So-
Klaxon was on the outside of that hug, and he's first hands off.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, and after all this is done, we'll go to space together and see what's up there for a little bit, I guess.
Was he serious about going to space?
I think he was.
I mean, New London's honestly a bit of a like resort destination. I mean, it's not bad.
Start your new life in the new world colony or the off-world colonies.
They even have
Oh.
water slides.
Swen's gonna be pissed.
Oh, I should
He could come with.
email. I should email. Him. Huh.
Email who?
Oh, no, I was just talking to myself. Never mind. It's fine.
The Concordia gets you there in half the time. It's only a couple of hours to the moon bases. I'm just saying.
It's true. Yeah, so, how are we gonna go about this? Because I feel like I need more information if I'm gonna try and talk to this person.
Well, Apollo is supposed to be sending us some stuff. I was waiting to see if there would be a narrative ding.
Ding.
Oh. Fucking took long enough.
Man, we're hitting all the TV bits. No one said goodbye when you hung up the phone. The information appeared. Next will turn. There'll be news for a clue. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Perfect. No, what happens is Choke says that, and you go, yep, and then you guys all go about your business, and then about 3 hours later, ding. No. Yeah, it comes through. And you get a package of information sent to you from Apollo. Most of it is the stuff that some of the stuff you already saw. Birth certificates, everything that, like, all the official documents that Apollo has on Arya or Ghost. Basically everything up until they turned 18. They were released from the detention center and vanished. Apollo sends you, in addition to all of that, which you guys can look through and see if you gather any more information from, some other I'm trying to think what it'd be. It's a lot of code, which I think only really Clarity understands, because it is essentially it's everything's in binary, and it's how Oracle sends their correspondence, and it's some like mission details and briefings and things like that, as well as some like coding packages and files and things like that that you can tell Arya worked on. You get a pretty sizable sample of her work that you can pull from for information or other clues. And then, but nothing really on Shadow. But as Apollo said, they're not really a sort of by the books. They don't leave much of a trail. So, I think the only thing you get is like some snippets of some of the like publicly filed like corporate bylaws, and like deep down like sub paragraph 6,000 form F. So like there are references to like and binding through by the shadow clause and stuff like that. It's like really cryptic shit. So yeah. Basically the worst version of Santa Claus. You guys didn't know this, but this is my holiday special. Yeah, but like there are incorporated in the bylaws references to this company or this entity referred to or defined as Shadow, but nothing really explaining whatever it is. So that's what you have. You can start looking through that if you guys would like to do some research.
What
Or
was
if you have
the
any other
job
ideas.
that got her burned?
Do you want to spend so he gave you guys got an intel from that.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to spend your intel to know that, or do you want to do a research roll to learn that?
I have a beginning of thing.
Oh yeah, those of you that have beginning
yeah.
of things.
We gotta do beginning of things.
You know,
Beginning of mission move.
mission.
No, I like beginning of things.
I do too. Yes.
I think Klaxon has one, Choke has one, Impulse, do you have one now?
Hit
Okay.
it.
You.
Claire, did you have one, or do you want to make one up? Okay.
When everyone else rolls a beginning of thing.
Mhm.
Clarity gets to roll something and gets free
Hugs.
noodles.
Okay,
Hugs,
yeah.
Yes. I roll to see how many noodles I get.
Clarity gets emotional baggage. Yeah.
Oh no.
I rolled an 11.
Damn.
What?
4. I love it when a plan comes together, so I get 3 hold for that.
Okay. Awesome. That's a
I
good
rolled
start.
another 10 for driven, so I get 3 hold.
Nice. I see we're carrying over our rolls from last week.
No, because I failed last week and I barely made it, so I get 1 gear.
Okay, cool. All right. Impulse, you get hold for yours? Is yours also a hold
It's
thing?
my driven thing, yeah. So if I begin a mission that furthers my vision, because it's not just going to be getting rid of her. I'm tracking down all the shadow business. Roll edge. At 10 plus, you gain 3 hold. You can use the hold to take +1 or give -2 forward on moves.
Okay. All right. So that all happens. We don't have to narrate all that. But as far as the research and stuff you guys want to do right now, what do you want to do?
When I research a topic in the Matrix, I do always get a follow-up question.
Mm-hmm.
I go for it.
Yeah, and then let's see. Okay. Research. Oh, that's an 8.
8. Okay. So on a research roll, on an 8, so you'll get to ask one. You always get to ask a follow-up question. So I answer your question, you still get to ask. So you basically get the result of a 10 plus. You just get to ask one question. Cool. All right. So take your intel, and then your general question is, what did she do? What did Arya do? What was the job she was on that got her burned? That's it? Okay. You pull up the package information sent from Apollo and begin to cross-reference through some databases that you have access to within Oracle. And you pull up just it's just a sea of binary ones and zeros, like matrix flow in front of you. It's like gibberish to anyone else, but Clarity, it's the most efficient way for you to like read through things, and it's just this like sea of information. I probably get a scene of like Clarity sitting at her computer typing away, and like maybe like Impulse or Klaxon like walking past in the hall and looking in and just seeing this like flood of information over her screens and glowing eyes and stuff, and just it's gibberish to the two of you, but
At Noodles down.
yeah,
Walk
you just
away.
said Noodles at the desk, and probably Clarity because she's hooked and doesn't even register your presence there. But Clarity, you do find buried within the information, and it's not directly something that Apollo sent, but you cross reference. You find information that Apollo sent on the jobs carried out by Arya, who was going by Ghost at that time, as her hacker name or alias, for Warlock. You see that she had her last job that Apollo provides to you is a essentially like a recon mission, hacking into a secure server to obtain some information. This information was this job was given to them directly by Warlock. It seemed like that they actually were very proficient. In fact, like the complexity of the codes that they're writing and the like the skill that you're seeing in their work, I mean, it is on par with your own at even this young age. They were very talented. The last job, though, there's not a lot of information on it, so you cross-reference it with some Oracle databases that you have access to. And the person that the specific entity that she was tasked with researching was Warlock. Specifically at the time, you would know the real Apollo. She was looking into them and their whereabouts and their location and some of their activities in her last job for Oracle, and it looks like she was, she slipped up or what, but she was essentially backtraced, and it looks like the facility she was working out of was compromised because of an error or this trace, and it looks like it didn't go well as far as you can see. They ended up having to the facility was damaged and it was abandoned by Oracle afterwards, and after that she was burned by Apollo or Warlock.
So it's Asshat's fault that she lost her job.
So you get one follow-up question from that list. You can think of one.
This is a Morgan question.
Mm-hmm.
When we say burned, do we mean literally burned?
Oh, no. So more like she
That's
was... Yeah, more like burn notice. She was she was fired, and her information was essentially she was no longer under the protection of Oracle at that point. So anyone that wanted the information that she had or the knowledge that she had or wanted her dead would be coming after her at this point.
That's what I figured. I was just like, either she was physically burned or metaphorically burned, and I can't figure out which.
Metaphorically burned.
Okay, so my follow-up question then is... Oh, no. What do I want to know?
Let's take a look. See.
And if you can think of like if the wording on those questions is there, if there's something in mind that you want to know that's not specifically on there, we can work within the bounds of that.
I mean, the one question on the list that's like, is like, where would I find Ghost? But I feel like that would be a little bit more difficult.
You can ask that question. I'm not necessarily going to say like she's at this location, but I will provide you with information that might help you in finding her.
Okay, yeah. So where would I find Ghost?
We have the same thing in like Monster of the Week where it's like, what kind of monster is it? And it like there's that feeling of a player that's like, I don't want to just like ask it outright, but it like the playbook or the book tells you it's like you don't just say it's a vampire. You can give like some clues. So you you look through the data that you have and finding things. You tell a couple of things based on your knowledge of people in this situation, and based on your knowledge of yourself, I think, kind of putting yourself in her shoes. Everything that you're reading about her, you can tell that she has no one on her side. I mean, other than Shadow, which, again, you don't know what they are and what the nature of this organization is, but she did not have the kind of support system that you did. And in fact, like everything you're seeing in her jobs, she mostly goes at it alone. She doesn't use support from other people. She doesn't work with anyone. She didn't have a partner, a team, or anything like that. Everything she did was by herself, which made her extremely good at what she did because she couldn't rely on anybody. But you can tell that she was putting in a lot of work that other people would rely on other people for. I think you gather a little bit from this is that wherever she is probably isolated, and she is probably somewhere that would require for someone that has this level of technology and technological understanding, you would know that she would need something like that. She would need something on par with the systems that you use, like at the like Apollo's base. That's like she would need access to that, because having all the information up front seems like something that she put a lot of effort into. That gives you some clues, I think, into where you would need to find her.
Okay. Yeah. So someplace secluded and someplace that has access to a great amount of technology. Cool. Interesting. I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to do right now.
Okay. Let's see what everybody else is doing. So while Clarity is doing this research, because this probably takes some time, Klaxon pulls Choke. Choke.
Choke can't help with research.
Fair.
Especially after being shot in the head. So she's gonna go to everybody and say, give me a list, give me some money. Gonna go to Scooters and just gonna buy some gear.
Suggestion? Maybe cover up? Helmet?
Yeah.
Something.
Okay, I'm not good with computers. I'm not a fucking idiot.
No, I'm not saying that. It's just even, I don't know, even the helmet might be burned.
Oh, mine's fucking busted. Remember
No.
the time I got shot in the head?
I don't mean, I mean, if they know that we're out there, then maybe they also know some of our aliases, some things we like to wear. I mean, like, I'm gonna have to get like 8 new wigs because they obviously know all of them already.
Okay.
Sounds like you just want to go shopping, but whatever, you get 8.
Like I said, I think I know what it's like to have people after me who want to kill me. So yeah, I'm not gonna just show up and be like, "Hey, Scoots, it's me, Choke.
Okay.
Put me on your fucking camera."
Touchy, I was just saying.
Is there anything you want me to get?
Like another disguise kit.
Okay.
Get grenades.
I was actually thinking about that. I mean, in addition to regular grenades, I can pick up. I mean, there's a couple of less lethal options. There's gas grenades. Obviously, poses a bit of a danger to the surrounding area. Flashbangs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because, like, I was thinking, let's say, tried to talk to this person who probably hates me for having a life that she didn't get and all of that stuff, and things go bad. Might just be easy to just toss a grenade in there and knock her out. I mean, it would knock me out too, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up some more gel rounds, just in case. They worked on Warlock, so.
So should we stay in pairs so that they don't grab us in as an individual?
Probably.
I can drive, choke, and I'll leave Rosie here.
Perfect. Klax, come here.
Okay.
She's gonna walk over. She's gonna like pop the collar on your jumpsuit, mess around with your hair a little bit, like take something out of her pocket. You don't even know what she does, but she like wipes it across, and like your nose somehow looks like thinner, and like your eyebrows look different. And it's just like, oh, is that Klaxon?
And then Klaxon does a thing where he slumps his shoulders and does the blend in move that he already has. So he just kind of like looks like a different person, just like janitor mode.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, go shopping. Have fun.
Anything else? Lots of
Actually,
different bullet options. I know you prefer the flechette, but I got a couple of spare pistols.
I mean, I have my taser. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm more likely to hit myself with my flechette gun than anyone else. So, yeah.
Okay. Disguises and grenades it is.
Thank you.
All right. Choke and Klaxon, you guys are heading out to do some shopping while Clarity is doing research. Impulse, are you doing anything specific? I'm gonna call some people, I assume.
Impulse is going to go ask Clarity.
Okay.
Claire, could you get me like a super secure line?
Sure.
Just need to make a really quick call.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, yeah, go ahead.
No, I didn't have anything to say.
Okay. Clarity, you set up another secure line for Impulse to make a call. Klaxon and Choke, I'm going to need one of you to roll to hit the street. Which is plus style.
Did we just send both -1s out there? Oh shit, sorry.
Particularly since technically I'd be -3 because the looks on the hover tank add to that.
Oh no.
Yeah, here's the thing. My research and my hit the street are both -1, so this is what you're getting help with, everyone.
Hey,
Nice.
hey!
I had hoped for bad. Okay.
The last time I did it, I rolled super bad. So
You're gonna have to choose 2 from the list. It's gonna cost extra. It's gonna take some time, which you don't have a lot of. It's gonna attract attention, or they're gonna
Want
need
that.
help with something, which is probably also gonna take some time. So you pick 2 from that list, and
or your contact needs you to help them out with something.
that's what I said. Yeah, the 4th one being help.
Oh no, sorry, I was trying to read the rest of it.
Yeah.
You take. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to the fucking moon after this, Scooter.
Gonna just burn Scooter like that?
No.
Listen, I will give you anything to pick that it's going to attract unwanted attention, complications, or consequences. Literally anything. I'll say he's got a rocket launcher for you. You want a laser sword? I'll give you a lightsaber.
I already have a missile launcher on my bike.
How about a grappling hook?
Wingsuit.
Wingsuit?
I was gonna say, what's it in Zelda? The sling or the quick shot?
The grip shot or the hook shot? Yeah.
Hook shot,
You
yeah.
want you want a wingsuit?
It's in the rulebook. I want a wingsuit.
You want a wingsuit? Okay, I can get you a wingsuit.
Are there gas masks?
Yeah, if we're gonna mess with gas grenades instead of just like flashbangs, then yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I don't know if that's specifically in there, but I would allow that as like a form of armor.
Put them on the list.
Yeah, essentially makes you immune to gas-based effects. Sure.
I'll do
okay.
it.
Perfect. All right. So the you go into scooters.
It's already gonna get expensive.
You go into scooters. So what's the other option you're picking?
Do I have to pick more than one?
You have to pick 2.
Shit.
Make it cost more money. I got that shrimp money. It's fine.
We do have money. I really don't want it to take more time. And I really don't want to have to be worrying about another favor for Scooter while we're also trying to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. We
I'm
just
gonna be
made
fair.
a lot of money.
I'm giving you an option. I'm giving you extra stuff, and the 2 that you picked are really the 2 that are going to make the most sense for you to pick.
It costs
so.
extra.
Okay. So you guys head into scooters, kind of heading around the back, parking the Tortuga out there in the alley, and head in, and you can hear Scooter, I think, is sitting in a it's a chair, like eating his dinner while watching Rock'em Sock'em Love 'Em on his small TV propped up above the fridge, and kind of turns wheels around and says, "Oh, hey, y'all, everything all right?"
No, we need some stuff.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I can do that for you. What do you need?
Hand over the list.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, I got that. Okay. I got all this. A couple of these things I had on hold for another customer. Y'all are obviously priority to me, so I'll sell them to you. I'm gonna need a little bit of extra for it because I'm gonna have to order some new stuff for the customer and have a rush delivered. I can have it to you
Fine.
now. Okay, great.
How much?
Let's see. Flashbangs, the disguises. Do you have something specific in mind for it? Like what kind of uniforms you're looking for or something?
Do we?
I need to know. Are you looking for
like?
Are you looking for like cloaking technology or just like or just
no,
like?
I think we're looking for something a little more simple than that. Our faces are a little recognizable.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see what I've got. Okay. So we'll say disguise kit 1, cred, flashbangs. How many? Well, we're not gonna do numbers. You have flashbang grenades. We'll say that's 2 cred. Gas grenades. We'll say also 2. Gel rounds 1 cred. Gas masks and wingsuit.
No, you said I.
Since
could
I'm throwing
have
those,
the
no,
wings, too.
since I'm throwing those in, I'm not adding those to the cred, but it's gonna cost you extra. So I'm gonna say 8 cred total for all of it.
Okay.
I'll throw in 4.
Oh, I'll give 2.
6.
Savvy and I spend 1.
Spend one of these.
All right.
Are we did we what's the word I'm looking for? Pony up cred for the mission?
Oh no,
Oh, no, we
that's a
didn't.
good. I'm not gonna have you guys do that in this situation because of the way that this is gonna work out.
That's what I thought.
We did our lives.
Yeah, you have staked your lives on this mission. If it doesn't go well, things are gonna go very bad. If you guys succeed in the mission, you're gonna be set for a while. So
We
Just
get
in-
XP for starting the mission? I can't remember.
you do. Everybody gets 1 XP. Sorry about that.
And just in case anybody was wondering, Scooter was having a delicious dinner of Wickles and circus peanuts.
You found them.
Perfect.
I did finally find Wickles.
In a bowl mixed together.
Oh yeah.
They would
I have-
circumstances would melt.
Mayonnaise and a cherry on top.
Oh,
I have
God.
exactly 69 experience, and I think that's really nice.
Yes.
Ah, nice.
Nice.
No more experience for the rest of the game.
Oh no.
Must stay there.
That was done.
All right. He says, "Yeah. Let me get this all to you. Do you want? I'll just get some duffel bags, load it all up. Just give me a moment." And he starts getting your order together for you. So, impulse phone call. Clarity sets you up with a secure line. Who are you calling?
Marcus. The DA.
Okay, I was sitting here. I was like, who the fuck is
Fuck
Marcus?
is Marcus? No.
The vampire? Okay, yeah. Marcus. All right. Assistant DA San Angeles, Spear Reporter, and an X. Okay. All right. When was the last time you saw Marcus? Last time you saw Marcus was when the hit squad hit the.
And then we picked him up for about 10 minutes to talk to him afterwards to let him know we weren't dead.
Yeah, right. I'm remembering this now. So you call their office, and patches right in, and he picks up the line. It's late, but clearly he's still working. It sounds a bit tired. It says, "Yeah, Marcus Thatcher."
Meet me, you know where, in an hour.
Oh God, not this again.
It's important.
Okay. Jeez. Do you say anything else? Because I'm gonna have you roll. I just was curious how to flavor this.
You told me to talk to you when I had something. I have something.
Now have you also roll to hit the street.
6 plus 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11.
11, nice. Okay. So he just says, "Fine. Yeah, I'll be there in an hour."
Click.
So Impulse, you head out. Is this the same, like, was it a coffee shop that we met at last time, or like a deli? I forgot what it was.
Yeah, just random
Previously.
coffee shop.
Okay. We'll cut to that scene, assuming that is happening during the shopping, during the research. So Clarity is alone at the workshop. Impulse, you're going alone out to this meeting. Okay. Impulse.
Rosie's on guard with.
With Clarity.
Technically.
What
And Chappie.
happened to not going alone?
She's only stepping out for a minute.
You step out, grab a cab, head over to the coffee shop. As you head in to this diner, looking around the back, change up the little bit of the
She is
mystery
not
music.
wearing heels.
Oh, jeez.
She is in flats.
So she's 2'7".
She's 4'10". Think Kristen Chenoweth. She has a beanie on over her natural hair, and she's got her reading glasses on. She has just a plain, not pointy shouldered overcoat on.
What color is the coat?
Black.
Jesus. Wow. No one will ever recognize her. She's gone.
Ever. She's gone. She disappeared. She's completely disappeared.
Marcus does a double take. Do you think Marcus has ever seen you like this? Do you think anyone has ever seen you like this?
Marcus maybe has seen her natural hair.
So you come walking up, and I assume just like sit down at the booth that he's in the back, as he's like scrolling on his like data pad, and he looks up for a second at you and
Hi.
Mary Lee, is that you?
Yep.
Shit, how bad is it?
Real bad.
What's going on?
I need you to look into some bylaws.
What do you mean bylaws?
Every major corpse bylaws.
Okay. So I was hoping that after the last issue that we had with the hit squad that tried to nab me, that... What are you getting yourself into now?
Already in a doll. Trying to make sure that no one else gets in and hopefully get some other people out of it. Like all of us.
Alright, so you just need me to read up on... These are just public records. You know anybody can access these.
Yes. But I want you to find a very specific clause in every single one of them.
That won't exist.
Oh, won't it? And she'll write down like the, subplot 6,000 for the one that she saw, and then like the other one, like just like writing down all the numbers. She'll just literally write the numbers like on his palm. That one. That one. That one's really far. And
Okay.
that one.
And
They're all
once
the
I've...
same. It's called the Shadow Clause. All of these corps have an upper echelon of people that do the real dirty work.
Okay. I'll look into it.
Quietly.
Quietly. Even if this exists, what am I supposed to do with this?
I'll let you know.
Great. Do you want extra intel or gear?
What do we think, friends? I already have an intel too, so I can get a second intel. We can use it as needed.
I have 3 hold that I can spend on gear, so.
Yeah.
Intel.
All right. Listen, if you need anything, just... I know there are people that I trust in this city that can help you, okay? If you're in deep.
They'll be
Alright,
dad
just-
love. I feel bad even reaching out to you right now. I feel like your position at least gives you a modicum of protection.
Maybe, but even still. If you need help, just call this number.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Alright. I'll sit here for a while.
Good plan. Marcus.
Yeah.
You're doing good. She'll kiss him. And then she'll walk out.
He just sits there in stunned silence for a moment as you walk out into the rain. And as you all, I think, as Impulse is walking out into the darkness to catch a cab, and Klaxon Choke, the two of you are heading out to the Tortuga, slinging a bag over your shoulders, or throwing it into the back of the truck with everything that you've gotten. You, or I'm going to say, Impulse, as you get in the back of the cab, and begin to wind your way through the streets. I don't think Impulse is probably normally very aware of her surroundings, but I think in this very moment, it's obviously very paranoid. You notice your driver looking in the rearview mirror a couple of times, and as you turn back into like looking behind your car in the rain, you notice as one by one the intersections behind you, the lights are turning red, and then you look for as your cab comes to a stop as the lights at all the intersections begin to turn red as well. And every
Get out of the car.
intersection you can see as
Run.
you jump out of the
Run.
car and begin to run. You hear the sound of something. I think you dart down an alleyway. You hear a scream down in the out in the city behind you, and you hear something scraping against the metallic walls of the alleyway above you. Something whirring. At the same time, Klaxon and Choke, while the two of you are in outside the Tortuga, rain falling, Choke, you take a step forward and you realize the rain isn't falling here. And you look up and you can see this circular, essentially this dark metal orb suspended in the alleyway by 4 arms, metallic arms with these like clamps on the side that are holding it against the alley. And suddenly this thing whirs to life as a couple of red panels light up along it. The spotlight strafes the alleyway, and you see this these gnashing, like almost look like teeth opening up as this like engine begins to roar to life inside, as this bot begins to spider its way down the side of the alley wall in your direction. And as all of you are dealing with this at the same time, Impulse, you looking up and seeing the same thing. Clarity, as you're sitting at your computer, the text kind of fades away for a second, or a panel or a pop-up appears, and text scrolls across the screen, and it just says, "Hey, big sis." And we're going to take our break right there and see how our team can deal with the conundrum that they find themselves in currently, and see who lives, who dies, and if it gets gory. We'll see everyone very soon. Hang out with us during our break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes, so stay tuned. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us on our break, watching some ads, and chilling out. We are back. We're fresh. We got drinks. We got food. I left my drink in the other room, but that's fine. Yeah. Choke and Klaxon. Thank you. Choke and Klaxon, the two of you, as well as Impulse, are currently under attack by killer robots. And Clarity, you have received a message from your sister. I want to deal with what Clarity does first. Thank you. Yes. I want to deal with Clarity's first, because that might inform some of what's going on. So, Clarity, you receive a message on your screen that says, "Hey, big sis.
Clarity's first instinct is to check all of her programs and her firewall and her everything to make sure that she is not trackable and try and figure out how she got this message.
Let's see. I think this is an assess roll, which we don't do very
That
often,
makes
but I
sense.
think that's what this will be flavored as.
Okay.
So roll edge.
That's a 6.
Okay. With a 6. You try to access your systems, but you are locked out right now. You don't know how she got in. You don't know to what extent she is in your systems, but the only thing you have access to is this message window that's coming up. Everything else just begins to like flicker for a second, and then you get just like Windows screensaver on everything except for the for this text box.
Cool. She will respond with, "What's up, Lil Sis?"
The message comes through again, and we can sort of flavor this as you guys having this as you guys begin to respond. It's almost like the two of you sitting across from each other having this conversation, you seeing yourself almost sitting there. And she says, I really wasn't expecting this.
Me neither.
I'm glad that you already know. It was going to be hard to explain.
Were you planning on explaining it first?
If I had to, yeah. I don't want to hurt you.
Well, that's a relief, because I really don't want to hurt you either.
Good. Good. This is tough though, because it's kind of my job.
You ever been to space?
A few times.
I don't know much about this shadow thing, but are they in space?
I can't really talk about them.
Fair.
Listen, I've been working for them for a long time. I can probably get you out of this.
And my friends?
You probably don't need to worry about them anymore.
What does that mean?
Well, we're family. That's all that matters. I mean, I have a job to do, so I'm already taking care of them. But we can still be together.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're also kind of my family. Like, they're not blood like you, and hey, I guess, it doesn't really matter to some people. But I can have both. I'd like to try.
They're not your family, though. I am.
Have you ever had a family?
No. No, I didn't. I didn't get to have one growing up because... No, I didn't.
I'm
But I can
sorry.
have one now.
You can, but family doesn't ask you to give up on friends and other people you consider your family too. And I may not understand the situation you're in right now, but as your family, I'm going to try really hard to. And I hope you'll try and do the same for me.
I want you to go ahead and roll. I mean, fast talk is the best thing in this. Is the only thing in the system to like a sort of a convince somebody of something roll.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a +1 forward on this roll because of the position of leverage that you have. So you're gonna roll plus style, and I'm gonna give you an additional +1.
Cool. So that's +0 +1.
Okay.
7.
Okay. 7 to 9. Again, I'm playing a little fast and loose with the rules here because the situation. She says, "It's too late for that now. I have a job to do. I'll see you soon, Big Sis." And
Yeah.
you can say something in response.
See you soon, little sis.
And the communication cuts off, and you have access to your system again, but everything you're getting is like this alert coming up of like this malware that has been detected as you are realizing that a ICE program has been uploaded to your system as she exited, and it is in danger of erasing a large portion of your files. And as you're dealing with that, which we will in a second, you also I don't know, you guys don't have, well, you guys have your communications. We'll see if you guys communicate to anyone what's going on as this happens, because this would be the point where Clarity, if any communications had been sent by your friends, they come through right now. The rest of you, as these robots descend down in front of you, Klaxon, I think you immediately identify these because you have seen these in use before. These are anti-personnel gastrobots that that Ares Aegis uses against in the field. They're designed to eat people and keep running based on using the people as fuel. They're extremely efficient in grinding up and processing biological materials to essentially sustain themselves indefinitely.
I wonder who gave him that idea.
No idea.
We had a long conversation about these the other day, and I was like, I love this idea. I'm going to use this.
The plot for a sci-fi movie. Okay.
So I'm going to start with Klaxon and Choke. What do you do as this thing is descending upon you?
It's got the teeth, right?
Yeah, it's essentially a big steel orb with this like processing like gears in front of it. The essentially it's like two rollers with teeth and stuff inside of it that like for grinding up meat. and everything else, and it's got 4 big. Remember the bots, the robots from the first Incredibles movie, with the legs and stuff. Yeah, essentially it's the big octopus legs like that.
Great. You know what meat grinders hated the most? When you get metal in them. I'm gonna unwrap the chain from my arm and wrap it around one hand and the other, and as it sort of comes down at me, try to get the chain all wrapped up in its teeth.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to mix it up.
That's an 11.
11. Why the move isn't coming up for me on roll 20? Oh, there it is.
On a 7 plus, you achieve your objective.
Achieve your objective. Right. You don't have to pick anything else. So yeah, I think this is what happens. The robot descends upon you, and you throw up the chain between your 2 arms and holding in place. You feel this impact as this 1,000-pound monstrosity is pushing against you, but the chain gets kind of caught in. You feel your non-robotic arm almost pulled from its socket based on the impact, but you hold firm there, and the grinder kind of comes to a stop, but you hear it kind of like it's trying to the servos are continuing to try to work against it and grind up this chain, but you have held it at bay, giving Klaxon a moment to do something. Klaxon, what do you do?
Break it. Break it.
Yeah, basically, Klaxon immediately rolls into the Tortuga, and then he's got the one vision of Rosie on guard duty at the house, which nothing weird is happening there, so he has no idea because it's all just her computer screens. And so then he on the other vision, he fires up the Tortuga's gun and swivels it around and let the terror ball have it with the autocannon.
This freaky music is giving me a heart attack.
Yeah, it's got this one weird explosion at the center, in the middle of it.
Why do you keep doing this to me?
I'm not doing it. It just happens. Okay. Go ahead and roll to mix it up, Klaxon.
I always forget about that part. Oh my god. Fudge. Okay.
Yikes. 5. How much damage does your thing do?
4.
Okay. So the here's what happens. I'm gonna give Choke an opportunity to do something here. The turret comes up from the top, and so that's what you're using, right? It's the the turret on top. So begins to and then begins to fire out in your direction. But as soon as it begins to fire, you see the one of the appendages of the gas robot just whip out and strikes the side of the cannon, causing it to kind of spark for a second, and it strafes around, and Choke, you see the path of the fire beginning to come towards you. What do you do?
Well, I'm braced on this chain, so I'm going to... Choke's jacket fits better than my jacket. I'm going to turn. I'm gonna still hold onto the chain, whatever slack I have left of it out here. I'm gonna turn so I'm facing it, and then I'm gonna use the chain to vault. I'm gonna jump on top of it is what I'm gonna do.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to act under pressure.
I'm gonna swing up on top of the big robot.
Amazing. Love it.
Are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh my god.
No, I'm super not.
Oh.
I'm super not.
Five
I
failure
rolled a-
twinsies.
I rolled a 1 and a 2. So that's a 5. I don't have anything for this. No. I could have +1. Which would make
That's
it a
not gonna, that
unless
won't be a,
Klaxon can help
well,
me.
yeah, that's the thing is you could spend a
Okay.
hold to get to a 6.
So
Klaxon
no,
could
it's
try
not
to-
spending a hold. So I have synthetic nerves.
Oh, right.
So I get +1 to act under pressure if reaction time is critical.
It is. You do get a +1 here, and Klaxon does not have synthetic nerves and is not targeting you directly with this, so this is not a situation where that would be negated.
So I have a 6.
You have a 6. Klaxon,
Right.
you have an opportunity to assist here if you want to.
So yeah, so blam, tut tut tut, jumps up. She's like, "Ride him, cowgirl," and she's got
Oh,
the
yeah.
chain in the thing's mouth.
That's what she's trying to do. We're going to see if that actually
That's what I'm trying to
pans
do.
out.
Yeah.
Not
But
going
what
well.
you are seeing the path of your shots being disrupted. Essentially, you have an opportunity to try to like gain control of the systems again. Somehow, how do you see Klaxon doing that?
I want to say like he takes and he makes the Tortuga jump up. So Choke was going to put one foot on the rail on the flatbed part of the truck and go. Well, she wasn't going to make it, so Klaxon just like whoosh raises the Tortuga up also, so she can get up on top of
Great.
said
Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll. You're gonna have to roll to help. So you're gonna roll plus your links with Choke.
which is currently 3. Woohoo!
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Oh my fucking god.
Guys,
Oh, holy shit, we're supposed to be murdered by the murder bot.
I can't. You have failed 3 times in a
bit.
row. I'm gonna have to hit you really hard here.
That's it. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot me, dude.
Oh no, it's gonna be worse than that.
Well, I just
It's
mean,
gotta
to
be worse
start.
than that. Here's what happens. Klaxon gauges the thrusters on the Tortuga, trying to give you the lift that you need. Seeing this Choke, the bot is sort of wrenching you backwards, strafing gunfire across the alleyway, kind of toosh, 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 toosh in the back of Scooter's shop, and the Tortuga, as it is like, as you engage the thrusters, it clips the there's like a what am I thinking of, like a fire escape in the back of the alleyway, hits it at an angle, and the entire Tortuga begins to flip in the air as the thrusters go off. The whole vehicle being like spinning end over end, and begin to crash up against the walls in the alleyway. And you got sensors going off and blaring. Klaxon, you're being thrown from side to side. The gas robot sort of spins like with this preternaturally like fast movement, avoiding the oncoming vehicle. And as it happened, it sort of rights itself, spinning upside down. And Choke, you do flip over the top of the bot, but as you do, it flips itself over so that this gnashing mouse with the chains is now facing up at you as you are kind of straddling on top of it. And as that happens, it begins to king, 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 and you feel yourself being like pulled by the chains as it is beginning to wrap inside. This is what I'm going to give you the option for, Choke, which I normally wouldn't with a situation with a 6, but this is a pretty big character choice. Choke, you can damage this bot bad and leave it crippled in this moment. You are going to have to give up your arm to do that, though.
So I thought you were gonna say.
Your cyber arm.
Yeah.
Your other one wouldn't stop it much. Or you can let go of the chain.
The chain's not gonna do it, huh?
The chain won't do it. It'll have eaten through the chain in a moment.
Nope. I'll do it.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to give you here then.
But purposefully.
Purposefully. There is a... You feel the bot beginning to like pull at the chain. You realize it's just going to eat through this thing. You are losing the chain too. Just by the way. That's just a given. It's just whether you're adding the arm on top of it. But I will say, in making this sacrifice, you do like disable this thing. So as your arm is being pulled inside, you like slap a hand on your shoulder, and there's probably like an emergency like valve or some sort of like something that would release the arm in a situation like this, and you feel it being pushed inside, and you sort of rip that to the side, and there is a searing pain as that happens, as the nerves are disconnected, and you feel essentially your arm is ripped off, and there's no gore or anything with it because it is just your synthetic arm. All the pain is internal, and you see this beautiful cyber chrome plated arm that you've had for some time chewed up in the maw of this creature, of this robot, and the whole thing kind of, you see like crumpling and stuff, and you're seeing smoke coming up from inside of it and grinding of sparks, and the whole thing just kind of crunches in on itself as it is trying to process this arm, but it is like destroying the interior of it. And as that happens, the bot sort of like releases the sides and begins to fall, and you fall with it. I am going to say you take 2 harm from the fall, like crashing down in the alleyway. I don't know how much
armor help with that.
Yeah,
I have 2 armor.
Okay, so you reduce it to 0. But you hit the bottom of the alleyway in this crunch of metal as the Klaxon and the Tortuga are like spiraling overhead, and just like doosh 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 against the side. I'm gonna have Klaxon make one more roll, acting under pressure,
Right.
to try to regain control of your vehicle.
All right. So with that, I'm actually, because I'm in my vehicle, I get an extra +2 for the power of the vehicle.
Okay, nice.
Thank goodness. Oh my god, wow. Okay. So 12.
12. What are the negative tags for the Tortuga again? It's
gas guzzler and sorry, it's way at the bottom of the sheet. Loud.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it slams against the side. But you pull you like re-engage some of the thrusters and even it out. It kind of flips end over end, and with being the expert driver you are, you regain control of the Tortuga, riding it again. It's a little banged up, and the turret is damaged right now. I think it's gonna have a like -1 ongoing for any like mix it up situations that you're gonna use it for, but it is you've regained control of your vehicle. With that drama having been concluded, and you hear Scooter yelling from inside his shop, just like, "What the fuck was that?" As there are now bullet holes through the back of his this shop here. I don't know why I just made Scooter country. In my mind, it just went the wrong way. The fuck just happened out there? Is more what I meant to do. Impulse.
Yep.
The other robot is bearing down on you. You just see this massive shape in the alleyway, just kind of you're hearing this whirring of this engine inside of it as this gastrobot is coming to eat you. What do you do?
Okay. May I spend an intel to know this particular neighborhood very well?
Okay.
In fact, it used to be an old restaurant district.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that with reveal knowledge. So you spend the intel and you get a +1 forward to exploit that opportunity on your next roll.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm in the alleyway. She remembers there's an old speakeasy with an old hidden door. Maybe it's wherever you want to put it. I named it. It's called the Kaleidoscopic Pig. They served a lot of fresh animals. So they needed a really fucking big drain. She's gotta get into the old broken down speakeasy. She's gonna get to the fucking drain. She's gonna get in the fucking sewer.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll to act under pressure with a +1.
Can I add another forward for my hold? Can I add 2 forward?
What is the... yeah,
Or
if
am
you
I
have some...
driven?
What's the move? So you can spend that on any...
Yeah, any... before I roll any roll, I can add another +1 forward for that. Okay, so I can add +2 forward?
Yes, you can.
Okay, because this is a straight roll otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a 10. +2 is a 12.
That's very good. Okay. You 10 plus, you do it no problem. Impulse. This robot, this gas robot above you, just kind of pulling itself towards you. It's scanning the alleyway, and you begin to sprint for just like a dead run. I think like I imagine Impulse had a bag or something on her, and it's like just like things spill, like something's spilling out of it, or just like drops it as she's running.
Usually has the clutch.
Okay.
No bag.
No bag. No bag. Okay. But
No
still,
bag.
dead run, beanie like falling back on your head there, and it just like running as fast as you can towards where you know this entrance is, and you hear the thing behind you, and as it descends down to your level in the alleyways, just trying to cut you off, you go dodging underneath one of these arms that like with these hooks at the end that tries to, or clamps at the end, tries to reach out. You just like grabbing at the air. And you go sliding across the wet cement of the alleyway, seeing this as you round the corner. You notice that there is this door, this hidden door here, and you go spinning, kind of like scrambling to the side, up to the door, and you rip it open. The alley, or the speakeasy being long abandoned, and begin to run down the steps, and you can hear behind you the clamping arms of this bot as it tries to reach inside, and you go running down to the lowest level of this the speakeasy, fairly confident this thing can't pursue you in this cramped space, and as you reach the grate, you begin to to pry it open to this drain to try to get down there, and you can hear this sound coming from behind you as these small little spheres come rolling down the stairs, just like and these 3 spheres end in the like kind of circling around the room, and you see them kind of scan once. There's this flash, and then you watch as they begin to and you rip the drain off and just go diving feet first into the down this drain. You go sliding down just at the same time. There's just this deafening explosion above you as these grenades go off, just ruining this building. And some rubble is descending down as fires flashing above you, and you just go splashing headfirst into the sewer. The impulse didn't die. I'm very glad about that, because that could have gone very badly. So I assume you're going to use the sewer to navigate back to the workshop. Okay. Clarity. I think here's what I want to cut to here, because I assume Clarity is frantically trying to deal with this virus that has been uploaded to her system.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to decide whether we're going to do some rolls here or whether we're just narratively going to say that she is trying to repair it and kind of figure out what. I think I'm going to have you do one roll to act under pressure.
You did say it was ice, right?
It was ice, yeah.
I do have a move.
Oh, do you? Okay.
It's Icebreaker. You know how to disable ice quickly and quietly. Once per matrix run, you may cancel a routine executed against you, your deck, or your programs.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I mean, since you have that move, I don't even think, because you can just cancel it. Yeah. I think you isolate, no pun intended, the program into a specific file section of your hard drive, and you're able to contain it and keep it from corrupting anything else. Just you lock it off and instantaneously. I mean, you're based on your experience, especially since you have read up on your sister's hacking and stuff, I think you might have been a little bit prepared for it. So yeah, you're gaining control of the systems, frantically hitting buttons, your cybernetic eyes glowing, and finally, as you lock off the program and you able to contain the ice and isolate it and begin the process of removing it from your systems, you lean back in the chair, having that moment to breathe, and I think it's at this same time that I just want to cut to this moment of Klaxon and Choke in the beat up Tortuga. Doors open, you can hear the rain pouring outside as you look out the door of your office, Clarity, and you can see the Tortuga kind of coming, landing in the garage as the door closes. Klaxon climbing out, Choke battered, bruised, climbing out, missing an arm, probably looking really angry, I would assume. And then, at that same time, as the three of you are seeing each other, and before anybody's able to get out that question of what happened, another door bursts open to the office upstairs, and Impulse, just soaked with sewage, comes trudging into the room, hair wet, dark clothes soaked, just smelling terrible.
Claire, are you okay?
Yeah, had a conversation. Are you guys okay? None of you look great. I mean, Klaxon looks fine, kind of. Tortuga doesn't look fine. Klaxon looks fine. Are you guys okay?
Turns around on Impulse. Where have you been? And why was it not here?
I had to step out for a second. It was a mistake.
Did one of those things come after you?
No, I just launched myself into the sewer for funsies.
Well, while you were out doing whatever it is you were doing, one of those things could have been here with Clarity.
got a number. Takes out the disgusting piece of paper, just like covered in junk. To be helpful.
It better be the number for the fucking president.
Well, it came from Marcus, so who knows?
I think throws off the jacket, arm missing, probably still in a lot of pain. I imagine nerve pain doesn't just go away very quickly.
Yeah, I think it's a dull ache.
Gets very close to impulse. When we left to go get some gear to take care of this problem, I remember very clearly Klaxon explaining to you that we should stay in twos and not leave anyone alone. Did you misunderstand the number 2? Or did you misunderstand the assassin part? You're muted.
Neither. I had something that needed doing.
And I couldn't have waited 20 more minutes.
I needed to go solo.
You might get to make that decision for yourself. You don't get to make it for the rest of us. We could have come back here to Clarity dead.
Looks over to Clarity. Sorry, Claire.
I said it was fine if you stepped out.
If you ever do something so irresponsible again, I swear to fucking God, I'll kill you myself.
Understood.
Klax will be like, "Come on, champ," and pat her real arm, Choke's real arm, and be like, "Let's get you something for the pain."
All right.
Like Novocaine shots around the socket for the arm or whatever.
I'm sure you got something on hand for that.
Puts the nasty phone number down on the table. Just kind of looks around. Goes up to her apartment to clean up.
Okay. What's your next move, guys?
Clarity's gonna wait until everyone is together and ready to bring up some information.
Okay, maybe cut to like an hour later. Everyone's sitting in the conference room. Impulse, are you looking back to your normal self, or are you just showered and still in sweats and dark clothes?
Hair wrapped up, silk kimono on. She didn't bother getting dressed.
Sitting in one corner of the room, other corner of the room, Choke, Miss Tank Top, missing one arm, beer in the other hand, or bottle of whiskey.
Bottle of whiskey.
In her remaining arm.
Which she has uncorked with her teeth.
Yeah. Just glaring across the room at each other.
Oh, Choke doesn't look at her.
Oh no. Okay. So the two of you not making purposely
not
not
looking at
making
each
eye
other.
contact like children.
Oh, Impulse
Okay.
knows she fucked up. She's not angry. She's
Okay.
Can we say Klaxon has like this, Choke's arm was all chrome and cool and, muscles and everything. And he's got this thing that's like 2 hydraulic bike pumps put together with like a jankly little hand on the end of it. He's trying to put something together just so she can brush her teeth. you know?
Yeah. Just working on the center table between the two of you, trying not to make eye contact with each other. And Clarity, you come up into this scene.
So I talked with my sister.
And
Well, the good news is it doesn't seem like she wants to kill me. The bad news is it is kind of obvious, I think, at this point. She doesn't really see you guys quite the same way, which I'm not really cool with. But I mean, it kind of felt like I might be getting something through to her. But also, I don't want you guys to be. I don't know, what were you attacked by?
Gastrobots. If he's working along.
Oh, yeah.
1,200-pound flesh-eating robots.
Yeah, I don't want you guys to be eaten.
I mean, for part of me, it's a bit too late.
Yeah.
Did learn. They don't eat metal. Fuck them right up.
And Klaxon holds up the jankly hand thing.
They also apparently have grenades. Just FYI.
I wonder if I can just, ground her. I'm an older sister. Older sisters can ground younger sisters, right?
Generally, it doesn't work like that, love.
Yeah, I've never really been an older sister before, so I'm not quite sure how it works, but she's really good at hacking too.
And
Which I guess we
apparently
kind of
psychopath.
knew. Yeah, yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I'm on the brink of I don't know. She sounded like she could be reasoned with. But
Are
she's
the
also
three
more
of us gonna have to be dead for you to do so?
No. I mean, I won't let you guys be dead. I won't let that happen.
Why don't we die?
She won't believe it unless she's the one to do it.
All right, we'll let her do it then. We faked Klax once. Why can't we do it for the rest of us?
I mean, it's one thing when your target is me, but nobody. It's another when it's one of the Shadow crew, I would imagine.
And they didn't really care about the body. They cared about what was in Klax's head.
Well, she didn't really care about our bodies either, considering that she didn't mind them being ground up into, kibble.
Don't remind me.
So,
Probably DNA tracking involved in the gastro process of digesting her. And he just kind of trails off into his own thoughts.
well, forget the bot things. Apparently, you took one out of commission anyway. Why don't we die? Takes care of multiple problems, doesn't it?
But
We're not blacklisted anymore because we're not on a list, and your sister thinks we're all dead. So
she wants to be like a family with me. I'm not. What happens if I can't see you guys anymore because you're quote unquote dead?
Oh, doll, if she's just gonna like go around murdering your friends, I don't think you're really gonna have the healthiest of relationships. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I mean, that's fair.
I didn't mean that necessarily. I just mean if she thinks we're out of commission, then she at least puts herself out in the open. So you can either reason with her, or it at least draws her out enough that if we have to, we take care of the problem. Plus, if the three of us are also presumed dead, then it, takes care of some other things too.
I think. That could work. I just don't know how to convince her to turn against the organization that she's been with for years and that she seems to be afraid of, if I'm being honest. I mean, most people are afraid of corporations, so what are you going to do about a shadow corporation that runs all the other corporations and decides who lives and dies and all that stuff?
It's very fair. I think it gives you more options, though. She's not blinded by trying to murder us, and it brings her out in the open, and we can take care of things as needed. Worst case scenario, we have to take care of business. She's dead, and we go to the moon. No big deal.
But
Sorry, was that insensitive?
I mean, it would be a big deal. I really don't want her to die, but I don't want you guys to die either. And I feel like it's not a decision I'm equipped to make, I guess. I've never had to kind of deal with this situation before. I don't think a lot of people have dealt with this situation before. I don't think there's any forum posts about it. So
I'm pretty pro us not dying. I'm just gonna put that in there. So,
yeah. If I didn't have to choose, but
All for you trying to speak reason to crazy. Feel free. And again, if we're presumed not around anymore, then maybe that might be easier for you.
So let's follow that thread, though. We fake our deaths, the three of us. Clarity talks to her sister, and what happens? If she's saying shit about wanting to be a family with you, what, you just stay here? You play heist with the little sister you don't really know? You leave with us. She goes insane. Chases you down, tries to kill you. If there's a third option, I'm not saying it. You're not going to convince her not to kill us.
And at the very least, you get her talking about the shadow, but I know that's not the major point here.
I mean, it's not. It's the shadow's fault all of this happened, really. Everything that we've been through and done. It's the corporations and then it's shadow. So if we could do something to take out shadow, the problem goes away.
The corporation that runs all the other corporations.
I mean, we'd probably have to get out of the city anyway. It would be kind of crazy afterwards and chaos, but...
Already a group that was trying to do that? The source? I'm asking GM, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're asking me?
I have the source! Star.
Yeah, that was the one that Klaxon's friend, or Klaxon's former commander, the colonel, works with. They're a mercenary group that specifically works against a lot of the corporations.
So, what if our goal is create as much chaos as we can, you know, call up these source guys, give them the information we have on this shadow thing. If I can convince my sister to join us, great. If not, I guess we do what we have to. But if there's no shadow, there's no job.
If there's no shadow, I mean, if she's almost as good as you, maybe these source folks wouldn't mind using her. If she has intimate knowledge of the ins and outs of the shadow group anyway, could be very helpful. I mean, she could basically name her own salary, I'm just saying.
I don't think she's crazy. She didn't sound crazy. She just sounded... She seemed sad.
Fake our deaths. Lure her out. Talk to her. Get as much info as you can. If she decides to turn, you know, for this source group, or at least at the very least against the shadow group, great. If not, then we do what we need to do.
I guess.
Any other additions to this conversation? All right. So as I understand your plan, create some evidence or create a situation to fake your deaths. And then Clarity reaches out to Ghost. All right. I want to get to that conversation today, so I want to sort of gloss over how you guys fake your deaths. Let's just figure out how you do it, and we'll consider it done as part of the legwork phase. So I want to know how you guys fake your deaths in this situation. We'll do a bunch of rolling and like a bunch of prep work for it.
Bunch of us ostensibly getting offed all at once, where the bodies would not necessarily be around as evidence. Call Chaz?
Got one of her busted up robots.
Blow up the Tesla.
Ooh.
But I'm sure she has some sort of surveillance. How do we make sure it looks like you guys are the ones dying?
It also needs to look like she did it.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we could climb into the Tesla at somewhere perfect that has like a manhole cover or whatever, crawl through the bottom, and then as the thing drives away, rocket goes up, all dead. We're in the sewer where you were Impulse.
I mean, if we're blacklisted by everybody, we could make it look like it was Ares Aegis.
Very easily.
Okay.
Simple, straightforward.
Gonna need to leave some DNA behind. On a piece of something.
I mean, one
Just
of
in
us,
case there's a scan.
one of us could lose a tooth, and I don't know how we would preserve some hair through the explosion.
Just get a bit of blood on something.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely leave some blood. Okay, yeah, we can do something like that.
Okay.
Right. Luckily, kept this arm.
We're gonna use a move that we have never used in this game that I have for just this moment, called Conduct an Operation. When you lead a planned and coordinated operation, which that vaguely describes what you guys have proposed here, describe the plan and who is carrying out, and then roll to edge. You guys have described how you're carrying it out. Basically, it kind of sounds like Choke or Impulse could make an argument here for who is carrying it out. Kind of sounds like mostly it was Choke, with the Ares Aegis contacts and stuff, but I'm up for whoever wants to roll here, who is like leading this operation.
We both have good edge. I don't mind.
Yeah, up to y'all.
I got 2.
2.
Are you scared to roll? You want me to do it? I do have some hold 2 left, so I could use my hold and do it.
I was looking to see if I had anything to add. Yeah, I can't add anything over the 2, so.
I will argue that I can call on a favor.
We don't have to actually specify who it is. I'm okay with saying, but maybe Impulse takes the lead here because she knows she kind of fucked up before, and
she was also going to offer to leave the tooth.
Oh,
Someone's
okay.
about to take it though.
Okay, yeah, Klaxon, using his medical skills, extracts a tooth.
Perfect. All right, gonna roll edge. impulse.
I'm gonna add the forward. So that's a 5. Plus 2 is 7. Plus 1 is 8.
Okay. On a 7 to 9. Let's see. You get your opportunity to act, but it won't go as smoothly as you would like. Choose one. A preliminary task will not be completed on time or accurately. Choose the task, and the MC will describe how it causes a problem. There's an unexpected complication. Choose a consideration, and the MC will describe how it causes a problem. So the considerations, I read out this a long time ago. 221. Yeah, so those are with the task. I won't worry about that. So basically, you describe to me what you think didn't get done in this plan. Something went wrong. There were a couple pieces. You guys were setting up the Tesla, having your escape route, leaving the DNA evidence, setting up somebody at Ares Aegis to actually attack, or you'd have to have some contact in Ares Aegis too that would be in on this, I think.
I guess something goes a little too early or late.
Okay.
So, I don't know. What do y'all think?
Maybe they hit us before we really get out. Like they start blowing up the Tesla, and we're still in it, and we're like, jumping down through the trap door or whatever.
It's a little too hard.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how that, because they can't take away another one of Choke's arms. Something important gets damaged because of that. Obviously, you've lost the Tesla. That's
the Tesla.
Considering that was part of the plan, not going to count that.
I have very few things left to give.
Yeah. No,
my signature weapon and my arm are both gone.
I'm thinking either somebody gets badly hurt, or one of the drones gets destroyed. Chappie, maybe.
I will take getting busted up to keep the droids.
That's
the
up
drones.
to y'all.
Which one is it? Are they drones? Are they droids?
Klaxons are drones.
Okay.
Droids are not necessarily piloted.
No, we need those motherfuckers. I'll give.
Yeah.
I feel like Choke's gotten. It's like Impulse can do it too.
If that's what we're picking between, I'll get beat up to keep the drones in one piece.
The only
Losing
reason,
out on a lot of technology already.
The only reason I didn't say anything is like, oh, I'll just Klaxon jumped on the grenade before, is because you'll get experience at least if you get hurt.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to offer then, is that when all is said and done and you guys are reconvened after having completed this mission, this includes any healing you might have done afterwards, patching up. Choke got out last, got hit pretty hard. Choke, you are at 1800 harm, so 2 ticks on the harm clock. And that is where you are going to be when all this is said and done. Okay.
Because regardless of how she feels right now, she would have made sure everybody got out before her. So
sounds fair. So with all that done, you have successfully completed an operation to fake your deaths. By all You have the report is filed that Ares Aegis took care, conducted the operation. You all were eliminated as part of this operation, everyone except for Clarity. So what I would like to do here to end our session, Clarity, you reach out to Ghost.
Clarity actually heats up some noodles, sits in her closet, and just waits.
Okay. The rest of you, I'm not going to necessarily define where you're at right now, because I'm assuming you're all in hiding somewhere nearby for this operation, because that's the whole point. Is you are somewhere and wait nearby, monitoring what is going on here. And Clarity, as you wait in your room, and you've probably been here alone for most of the day at this point, as you've probably distanced yourself from this operation so that if you were being monitored, it wouldn't come across as suspicious. And there is a knock at your door. And it opens, and standing there, you see an older version of that girl that you saw in the mugshot of yourself. Same age, similar build. However, she still has her hazel eyes, and she has that same sort of, because Clarity's hair is like a platinum blonde, all right. She has the same hair color as you, but it's cut really short, and it's she has these cybernetic plating along the side of her face down to her the sides of her neck. She's wearing kind of a almost like a similar outfit to Choke, where she's wearing like a tank top underneath, but you can see underneath the tank top a fair portion of her skin is replaced with cybernetic plating as well. She has magnetized, both of her arms are magnetized cybernetics as well. You can see the slight gap where the magnetic fields maintain the connection with her arms. She's almost completely, based on, you can tell because you're scanning with your eyes, she's almost completely cybernetic, with the exception of a few parts. But with that face that is very similar to yours, identical to yours, just with a few extra scars, a few more lines, and a little more weathered, she says, I was expecting something a bit bigger.
Nope. Just me in a closet.
We should probably talk.
Probably.
Well, come on then. And she turns and walks back out to the main area. She says, I guess bring the noodles, over her shoulder. And as she steps and turns out of the closet, out into the main workshop area, you can look out, and you look up and you can see hovering in the air at the center of the shop, one of those death spheres as well, that is kind of just ominously suspended in the air there, though not currently activated or engaged in any way. And as she stands underneath it with her arms crossed, having this, preparing yourself to make this conversation and to make this last attempt to plead for the humanity of your twin sister, that's where we're going to end our session for tonight. So we'll pick up with that next week. And then to carry out the rest of your plan, seeing how this goes, to then escape San Angeles and flee to the moon. All right, guys. Put on some different music here. Oh boy, good session, everyone. I'll give you another XP for, we would kind of consider that the legwork phase. We are fully in the action phase next week. And we'll see how this all shakes out as for our season 1 finale of Neon Souls. Oh boy. It might be a longer one next week. I'll go ahead and give a heads up for that. So if we'll see where things go. We're going to try to pack a lot in, wrapping this up, and seeing where this where kind of the conclusion comes to, and seeing if everyone makes it out all right. I'm gonna also assume as part of this plan, Choke, you have your replacement arm that Klaxon has made for you, because I forgot to specify that. We're gonna have to talk about what your because you had some special things with your cybernetic arm gave you.
Oh yeah.
Some extra like melee damage and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
That's essentially what you don't have access to that anymore. Anything your cybernetic arm was giving you, more than your flesh arm, is what you don't have access to until you have gotten a replacement.
Regular arms.
Yeah.
And
so
throttle is gone.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But we can talk about it because you do have you guys have a lot of cred. You could potentially replace it if you need to in this last.
It's okay.
Push. Yeah, you guys have guns too. It'll be fine. But we'll do the showdown leading into this epic finale and see where we get out at. We've got a lot to cover next week. Get our ducks in a row there. So think about if there's anyone you want to say goodbye to in these last moments in the city. Not that we'll never see him again. Like I said, you guys are just going to be at the moon. It's like a quick pop back and forth to San Angeles. No big deal. But yeah, so everyone out there in the chat, I guess join us next week for the finale of Neon Souls Season 1. We'll then be off on... Sorry? Huh?
Are we doing links?
Yeah, links. Yeah, we'll do that in a second. We'll be back we're going to be off on the 25th, and then we'll be back on the 1st with our Season 2 Session 0, where we're going to be building our Cypher characters, because we're going to convert to a different system for a little while, and see how that does for us. I'm just trying something else in the interim for a Season 2 and see how everybody likes it, and try out some different dynamics and stuff. So yeah, let's do links. You at the end of every session, we will ask you guys all who knows you better than previously. So who's up first? Choke.
I know.
All right.
It's Impulse.
That's fair. Yeah.
Based on multiple conversations over the course of the episode, but I think it's Impulse. I don't think she's ever been on the receiving end of anything like that.
She may have Peter Paints, but you wouldn't know because she already smelled like sewage. So who knows?
Great.
Sorry.
Who else?
I'll go with Clarity because we didn't know she had a sister and stuff.
He rolled over.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Here too.
Oh, she just gains the links with you.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
that's-
I always forget that.
Yeah.
Always forget that. Is it different in one of the other games?
Probably.
Like links.
Well,
Backwards?
history in
Apocalypse?
in an apocalypse world.
Okay.
I think it works the same way though, where
Yeah.
only one person rolls
It
over.
works the same way. Yeah. Where
Yeah.
It's only one person.
It's just me.
Who else? Clarity or impulse?
Clarity's gonna say a lot of people know her better, but I'm gonna say okay, impulse go first.
Yeah, it's probably gonna have to be Choke. Yeah. For all of the before stated reasons.
Fair.
Clarity. I'm gonna go with Choke as well.
Okay. Awesome. So did anybody roll over? Do we have to do any scenes next week? It was
So me and
just
Clarity roll over.
okay.
Which I had thought had
Klaxon.
been, yeah, I thought had happened last week, and then I realized that I had it on the wrong spot, so it did not happen last week. It did happen this week.
Okay. So we've got you guys come up with those. We got those 2 scenes that we can see if we can squeeze in next week. Either way, you guys gain the XP. I'm gonna see if we can get those scenes in, but I think there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on that I'm gonna prioritize getting through the story, and then we'll see if we've got some time like in a sort of semi-epilogue sort of thing. Because we talked about it before the stream. I don't think we talked about it on the stream. That the plan is, however this all shakes out, which is fully in your guys' hands. So you guys have thrown a lot of things at this, a lot of spaghetti at the wall at this point. I'm just interested to see what sticks. So we'll see how all this shakes out, and then there'll be some sort of time lapse where some sort of break period where you guys take some time. We can have some off camera character development, so that when we come back with Cypher, some new abilities, some new developments, things like that, there might be some interesting backstory that we can bring in our session 0. But we will talk all about that later on. Next week we'll just be back with our last session for right now of the Sprawl. So come join us at 8 o'clock next Friday for that. Our next stream will be tomorrow. It's going to be Saturday Night Star Power at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, playing Overarms. Come hang out with us there. A lot of familiar faces. And all of our other shows will be as normal throughout the week. You can check out our schedule. I guess we have our season 1 premiere, or season 2 premiere of, well, our premiere of Elegant Magics next week on Thursday. So that's going to be special. Come join us on Thursday at 8 o'clock for that too. Anyone have anything else they want to plug? Savannah, I know you have a few finales next. It's finale week next week everywhere. So
Yeah, it's finale week on Encounter Roleplay, so that'd be Monday night and for me at 8 p.m. and then Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for me and Morgan on Encounter Roleplay.
Great. Anyone else have anything?
Come by on Thursday. Elegant Magics. It's gonna be amazing. I'm really scared, but it's gonna be great.
Sunday morning, we're going to be taking a break from Deep Sky Derelicts on my channel to play something else. But as of right now, I haven't decided what. So it'll be a newer game. It'll probably be Grifflands or Vambrace Cold Soul. So check that out, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Graybeard Tavern, twitchtv.com.
Awesome. Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you for watching. I'll plug my own thing. We're probably going to be playing some more Pokemon tomorrow. Probably not as long as before. Going forward, I think it's just going to be I'm gonna do a little bit of stuff off stream, and then we'll do the gym battles and some of the more dramatic stuff on stream. So I'm going to balance it out so I can actually finish it on stream as much as possible and show you guys as much of that. So probably tomorrow around noon. Come join us for that.
Hashtag Team Chonk.
Hashtag Team Chonk. The chonkiest team. If you've missed any of that, you can check out. There's like 24 hours of streams from this week that you can go watch. All right. Thank you to my lovely players, as always, for being here and being awesome. Thank you, everyone out there, for watching. We will see everyone next week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.